Greetings and good vibes, everybody. Hey, happy Friday. It's your girl Meg, host of Freedom for All, brought to you by the Leon Block Independent Media. I'm an investigative reporter, and I'm here to expose the hard truths that officials work tirelessly to hide from us. It's time to shed light and provide a way for citizens to take their lives back. We want freedom for all. We cover topics like police officer-involved cases and cases of police brutality, incidents of racism, world issues and news, resources to provide you with the tools to know your rights, and more. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube to listen and watch us on the daily. Search the Leon Block Independent Media or just search Freedom for All. It's all about building and sharing knowledge, y'all. We must empower, connect, build community, and show unity. For on the path we meditate, to keep being we celebrate, for in spirit we liberate, so we may educate, because to guide we must educate. Now step back and enjoy the show. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. I am back with another webisode, bringing you all the details on individuals that are fighting for freedom and social injustices around the globe. Know that at the Leon Block, that is one of our sole purposes, to shed light into a dark world that others feel too uncomfortable to talk about. We are here to get uncomfortable, to elevate to our larger realm of consciousness, to arm ourselves with knowledge, because if we don't know better, we can't do better. If we aren't in the know, we can't demand change appropriately. We must be clear and understand what the fundamental problem is, and understand that the root of the problem is the system. The only way we will ever have change and reform of these systemic disparities is if we bring in clear, competent leaders and commit to the long haul. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We must connect through community because our communities are hurting. Compassion, layers of support, and to show more grace and humanity. At the Leon Block, we are on a mission to bridge the gap between our community resources and the communities that need those resources the most. Whether that be in our backyard or yours, that is our purpose, to be the bridge. We could not do what we do without your donations and support. Our payment options are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Also, don't forget to set your notifications to when we're live, and to like and subscribe for more of your favorite social injustice freedom fighter. Hello, hello. Don't forget to turn into for tea after this. We have a special guest member coming on after, and I'm welcome to tonight by John Tell as well. Thank you so much for joining me, John Tell. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, and thank you for having me, Meg. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate you.
Yes, no problem. So tonight we're going to be digging into the justice for Marvin Haynes. He's an individual that has been incarcerated since he was 16 years old. So that's been about 16 years as of recent. We're going to go through his case a little bit, and then you'll tune into T later, and we're going to actually be interviewing one of his family members for more information on that as well. So we're going to jump right to the Twitter article, and this is from the eyewitness identification lineup. We're going to watch the lead detective say Marvin's name as he was called in. Why did the detective call Marvin by his name? He says Marvin, stand right here, yet another part of his entirely faulty case, that prosecuting authorities' reckless trial. So we're going to go ahead and do that now.
Number 3. And right there. 4. Arms and right there.
Oh, interesting. I heard that.
And stand right there. Number 6. Stand right there, please.
Welcome, Chaz, to the show. Thanks for joining us. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So you probably know more about this case as I'm just now finding out about it. But this happened in your home state in Minnesota, right?
Yes, it did, in Minneapolis.
Gotcha. And have you seen this video that we're watching now from the identification lineup?
I think I've seen this one.
So in situations of questioning, they're never supposed to state the person's name because it can be, definitely used against them. With this situation, they said Marvin twice, which was kind of odd to me. And so we can go over now to the story. We found this at Justice for Marvin Haynes 16.com. And just to give a little bit of backstory, it was September, a month all too familiar during his adolescent years, when kids are returning to school to shaping their lives for the real world. And I think this is wrote by him. So it says, I happened to be incarcerated at the Hennepin County Adult Detention Center. I was being mistreated by correctional officers for no apparent reason and being told that I would never see the light of day again. The few privileges that I was able to receive were taken away from me, all because of how the media in the state of Minnesota portrayed me as guilty, which is not so. I went from becoming familiar with my teachers, peers, and the required schoolwork needed to graduate to a 16-year-old boy suspected of murder that was broadcast on every news channel and published in the newspaper. I would like to share with you how my nightmare began. Sunday, May 16, 2004, a murder took place in a business located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As this murder took place, one of the staff members present was able to escape and run to a neighboring house to seek help. A woman in the neighboring house called 911, and the staff was able to tell the police operator what took place and described the suspect as an African-American male, thin-built, early 20s, 5'10" to 5'11", 180 pounds, with short cropped hair. After she completed the phone call, she ran back to the business to find that her coworker was unresponsive. Police arrived and did a forensic investigation for potential fingerprints. On May 17, 2004, Minneapolis police received 3 different fingerprints back from an item that the suspect had touched. However, 2 were from the detectives that investigated the scene, and the other was unidentified. Later that day, investigators made a photo lineup to show the survived witness under a new procedure being administered by the department. A sergeant not connected with the case conducted the photo lineup, not knowing that the lineup included the potential suspect. The staff present at the time was shown a group of 6 photos from the lineup where she recognized a potential suspect and identified the suspect she recognized as the shooter. Minneapolis investigators investigated the suspect identified as the shooter's whereabouts on the date of the shooting. However, investigators learned that he had allegedly been in South Dakota on the date of the crime. On May 18, 2004, Minneapolis investigators received information that made them direct their investigation towards me. On May 19, 2004, I was arrested at home. While in custody at the Minneapolis Juvenile Detention Center, I was interrogated without the presence of a guardian and fingerprint. I was never informed I was being investigated for murder, even though the fingerprints recovered from the crime scene excluded me as a suspect in this crime. On May 20th, 2004, Minneapolis investigators elected not to follow the procedure which was in place by the police department, and the investigators connected the case, administered a photo lineup, but instead of a recent photo, a photo from 2002 was used for lineup. It was the last photo of me having short cropped hair. Later, the witness was shown on an in-person lineup, which was suggested because I was the only person addressed by name, while others included in the physical lineup were addressed by number. The witness had a difficult time identifying me as a suspect because I did not fit her initial description of the suspect, as I was 16 years old, 5'6", 145 pounds, with a natural afro about 4 inches in length. On September 2nd, 2005, I was found guilty of first-degree murder and first-degree assault and sentenced to life in prison in a case where there were no fingerprints, DNA, weapon, nor any physical evidence indicating that I had any involvement in this crime. I have worked with the Minnesota Innocence Project as an organization that assists the wrongful convicted in my countless attempts to prove my innocence. As I was being wrongfully convicted and sentenced to the judge stated, I hope Haynes finds something positive to do in prison so he can lead a constructive life once he completes his sentence. Words I will never forget, because my only constructive activities are fighting for justice. Because a part of the movement, because my constructive activities are fighting for justice, becoming a part of the movement, Justice for Marvin Haynes. So if you want to go ahead and play the lineup video. Such a sad story.
The Twitter lineup video?
The lineup video for the Justice for Marvin Haynes 16.com.
I'm trying to see where you see that at.
Oh, hold on just a second. I'll resend it to you.
Is it the Justice Jones video?
Let me see. It was the one you had sent me, Jonto. We send so much information back and forth to each other. We get lost in transit.
It gets confusing. Y'all know me. It's a running joke between us that there's always a whole bunch of tabs open. Now viewers know they ain't supposed to know this stuff now.
Yes, and I sent it back to you in the messenger chat.
Got you. So this one.
Yeah. Oh yes, that was another one that we found. I forgot all about that one. Or no, that's not it. This is the Marvin Jones.
Right.
Or Marvin Jones.
Well, I mean, we are going to be interviewing Marvin Haynes' sister.
Yes. So you know what? Don't even worry about that. We'll get more details and stuff from her whenever we speak to her on T here in a little while.
Yeah, she actually messaged me, so she's waiting. She's ready and ready to go.
Yes.
So at about 8:45 Eastern Standard Time, 7:45 Central Standard Time, we will be going live streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter to interview Marvina Haynes. Is that correct, Chaz?
Yes, yes, yes.
And Chaz, do you know anything else about the case that we haven't spoke about regarding Marvin?
There's actually some things that I want to ask Marvina when we get her on here. And there's, for what I didn't understand is that I was reading the appeal, and that the fact that they were looking for another Marvin, that kind of, when you go to the lineup, and the fact that they never told him that they were investigating or for murder. And again, this is a juvenile, so Minneapolis police are not allowed to question juveniles, and again, broke laws. And why? And the part that frustrates me is Amy Klobuchar was involved in that case, in Marvin's case, and that really frustrates me because of the fact of she has done a lot of our youth, our black youth, our black men wrong, and we still continue to vote for people like that. And I don't want to bring up politics in that, but I just wanted to show
we have to arm ourselves with knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Right.
So we definitely have to know better to do better. So I always appreciate that aspect from you.
Because it really bugs me that we have our innocent youth locked up, and these are attorney generals, prosecutors that we're voting for that have literally screwed our youth, our futures over. And that's why I really want to get into a conversation with her, because she does a lot of great work for the incarcerated, even people that are outside, that are on probation, parole. So it's going to be an incredible story, something that people can get involved in, and something that people can help with.
Yes, thank you, Chaz. And don't forget, everybody, turn into the Urban Conservative every day via the Leon blog.
Right. Pinkies up.
Yes, pinkies up, bitches. And then we will be right back after a commercial break.
Bones, a culture of thrones, set ablaze by the majority. Tired of complacency, ready for the anarchy, because what's left to lose? Everything is lost. Time to turn to the new. Stand in your ground, hold it. Man-made earthquakes shake the foundation of centuries of colonies. Time for erasure of stains. Questions. Whys. What abouts?
Yes, around 8:40 tonight. Super excited to hear from Marvina. John Tell, did you know anything about Marvin's case up until now?
I didn't. I think I've heard. I think I've heard. Sorry, somebody just commented. I crack it up. I've heard bits and pieces. Like, it sounds very familiar, the name. So I'm sure I've come across it over the past 2 years, but I didn't know any details about the case until yesterday.
Yes, it's so crazy how, there's so many cases out there, and it's even our realm, that we deal with every day, but there's so many cases and, that we just don't have a clue about. So it's always important for people to reach out to us, and, we definitely want to hear your stories and, help in any way possible.
If you I'm gonna hold y'all back for a minute, because you have heard about Marvin's case. If on the state of America when we did mass incarceration. Marvina was one of the people that I was trying to get on the show, and then we just couldn't get our schedules right. But to talk about Marvin's case,
Yes. So it's meant to be, guys.
right?
Shout out to Marvina. She's watching right now. Appreciate you, love. We will see
Yes.
you soon. To have you on the show and share your experiences and your testimonies with us so that more people can learn and grow and do their part to be a part of the greater community. Ain't that right, y'all?
Yes.
Yes.
Super excited to hear her story. I couldn't imagine, her brother being yanked out of his house at 16 years old and then being incarcerated ever since. Like, there is no more definition of direct impact than that. So, I mean, that's what people need to hear is, the directed impacted individuals of this, injustice system. Gotta know better to do better, y'all.
Right. And it's crazy that she's coming on because in Minneapolis, she's been in Fox 9, she's been in WCCO, she's been in CBS. She's really been a talk on Twitter. The last couple of days, I've used her clips predominantly for my shows, The Urban Conservative, to really talk about the things that are going on with people that are trying to rehabilitate their lives. The way that they were have been screwed over by the system that is supposed to help and protect them. So I hope people are at 7:45, so about 15 minutes, we will be back. And Meg?
Yes, sir. I look forward to it. Let's get it, everybody. Well, I thank you, gentlemen, for rocking with me tonight. It's been a pleasure. And you guys are my favorite team to rock with on Fridays. What's up?
Yo, back at you.
Yes. So on the path we meditate, to keep being we celebrate, for in spirit we liberate, so we may educate. To guide we must educate. It's been a pleasure, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, was entertained, and educated. Have a great night.
Thank you.